and welcome to the Stuck on Self-Love podcast. My name is Tazeen and I'm a writer, self-love, and mental health advocate and STUK Designs blog manager. Along with 5 other young women from around the world, I run a successful nonprofit for girls and a clothing brand. At STUK Designs, we believe in self-love first because self-love is the dawn that marks the beginning of all the different kinds of loves and because it undoubtedly sustains success. This podcast shines light on strong and talented women who persevere and excel in life while bathing in abundant self-love. So if you're ready to keep it real, level up in all your inner work, creative business, and community impact, then you've come to the right place because we provide you with content that helps your soul glow, your mind grow, and keeps you lit. Thank you for pressing play. Let's dive in. Hey beautiful people, we at STUK Designs have begun our crowdfunding campaign with iPhone Women supported by Caress. We are raising money for expanding our programs, manufacturing art kits, setting up our studio that will be a space to empower women and girls through art and self-love, and a lot of other work that we have planned. We would love your help in our mission to provide girls in underserved communities art education and help them recognize and utilize the power of self-love. Visit our website www.stukdesigns.org for a link to our campaign.
Can you please tell us about yourself?
I'm an actor. I go for auditions. I try my best to be active on social media. I don't read as much as I'd like to. I don't watch interesting things as much as I'd like to. I'm definitely not as cool or smart as my social media makes it out to be, but I am living my best life.
So, Rytasha, your name's Rytasha, right? Pronouncing it right? Perfect.
Amazing.
Okay. So, how and when did you decide to become an actor? Was it something you were always interested in?
So I think in school I already found my calling or whatever. I started with school plays and I was like, this is great, I can do this, this is fun. And in grade 11, I actually remember this moment very clearly. We were doing a version of Romeo and Juliet. I was playing the nurse, and it was like curtain call, and our curtain call song was Bittersweet Symphony. So dun, 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 it starts and I'm running down to take a bow, and in that moment I'm like dun, 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 dun. This is what I want to do always. I always want to be doing this. So that was the moment actually, in the middle of all of this happening. And then I must have been 16 at the time. So yeah, it's been a good 10 years since I made the decision and then went for it. Yeah.
So the lights just lit up and you just knew.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty much like that.
So, what has your journey been like so far in this industry? Because it can be very challenging.
It's a loaded question. So I can't complain. My journey has been reasonably good. Because now the industry is pretty much based in Mumbai city. Where I luckily live. My parents live here. So I have that amount of privilege and access, having gone to a good school, having worked with a few theater companies. I can't say that my journey was very difficult or I had to work 5 jobs to make this happen. No, I had the luxury and the privilege to focus wholeheartedly on being this artistic, creative person. But that aside, the struggles or the challenges include again, it's not really a struggle, but the way I look, it's not your typical, like they will not call me for every role to audition for every part. I will be called when the character is a little larger than average size. So that kind of stereotyping, it annoys me, but I've always kind of tried to not pay heed to that. And otherwise, I mean, I think it's a struggle for everyone. It's just so uncertain because you could be doing really well for 6-8 months. Then again, you'll have a lull for another 2-3 months, maybe 4 months, 5 months, you're not doing anything. Then those lulls really can affect your mental health and you go into the spiral of, oh, am I not good enough? Should I be doing this? Should I be doing that? Other people are doing XYZ on social media, or branded deals. Why am I not getting any? There's a lot of this kind of self-imposed insecurity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but
So, have you ever struggled with your mental health in the past, or do you currently find yourself struggling because of all these highs and lows?
I'm always struggling.
Right.
It's a forever struggle, mental health.
Right.
Yeah, I started therapy a year ago,
Right.
and also because I was like, not just in my professional life, but even in my personal life, I was in a
Mhm.
relationship which was taking a very big emotional toll on me. So my mental health, I can't blame it on one thing and be like, oh, it's down because of work. In fact, yeah, my mental health gets a bit messed up when I'm not working.
Mhm.
So now I've become aware of that. So I'm like, okay, in the middle of this pandemic, how does one work all the time? We have to figure it out. How are you going to stay
Exactly.
sane being at home? So I think I've kind of got a grip on that now. Work, I'm more okay with. I'm very trusting in the universe and the larger plan, and I'm like, it's going to be great. I have full faith in myself. But therapy helps. I haven't taken therapy for the last 3 months because
Mhm.
of the pandemic and finances and whatever, and I was like, forget it, I don't want to. But now I'm like, today is going to be, actually after we finish this, it's my first resuming of therapy session
Well,
in
that's
and out.
great. That's great. So you are a firm advocate for body positivity, and that is absolutely amazing. First of all, we need more people like you in this industry. But are there any challenges that come along with breaking barriers that have obstructed the growth of our society for so long?
um, while you and I are open-minded, and there is a section of the audience which is open-minded, Tazeen, there are so many people, a majority of this country and the audience consuming content in this country is not
Mhm.
that evolved yet. So
Absolutely.
that is a challenge, because in reality, so like I did this television show called Bado Bahu about uh,
Yeah.
a big girl who doesn't get married. I mean, she can't get married because nobody wants to marry a fat girl.
Right. Right.
um and when I read that originally, when before we started filming and all, I was like, what is this shit? No, it doesn't work that way. That's bullshit. Cut to the show release, and so many girls have reached out to me being like, this is a real thing. Girls are like going crazy dieting and trying to lose weight when they come of marriageable age. So we are so messed up as a society. I don't really, I even now, in the most progressive of scripts and in the most progressive of production houses,
Mhm.
we haven't reached a point where we're still like actively normalizing women of various shapes and sizes as protagonists.
Yeah.
um,
Absolutely.
but that is maybe something I have to do now. Sumukhi Suresh did it for Pushpavali.
Mhm.
Loved that. But like, there's literally not another show where the female protagonist is not your typical beauty. I mean,
Right.
unconventional. I hate all
Right.
these
Right.
words,
Right.
but yeah,
But
I
they're
think,
facts, right?
yeah, yeah. I just guess more people like me have to actively make our own work
Right.
or push it out there. And I may not be there yet, but I feel in the next couple of years, I would like to create a show or some kind of piece of content which normalizes girls like me living our best lives. Yeah, going on
Right,
dates, all
because
kinds of things.
right, absolutely. That is so important because even if we do, like you said, cast a bigger women, the narrative is always around their weight. Everything about their life is around their weight. You never show them just hanging out, doing great at work, or struggling at work, or struggling with family. It's mostly just around their weight. And I think that really needs to change. And I really hope that you can do that someday because you definitely have the potential for it.
Yeah, that's my hope also.
Right. So let's talk about your health. Unfortunately, you had contracted the coronavirus. So can you
I
talk to us
did.
about that?
I had the coronavirus.
Oh.
Coronavirus. Yeah, what can I say, Tazeen? I was in Goa, so we got
Mm-hmm.
tested before leaving, and of course,
Right.
we were negative. So, between the flight and going out for dinner a couple of times over there in Goa, I don't know where we contracted it. And I was
Oh,
staying with 4 friends. So, we were not really maintaining distance from each other at home. We'd all been tested, so we were all like, yeah, we can be like
yeah,
free at
absolutely.
home.
Right.
So we were, and then I guess one person contracted it, and then next thing you know, all 4 of us
Oh
had it.
my.
But it was good in the sense that it was a mild case. We are all
Uh-huh.
young and healthy, touch wood.
Absolutely.
And
Right.
there's a doctor in everyone's family almost. My dad's a doctor, my aunt's a doctor, my best friend who was stuck with us, her cousin's a doctor. So everybody was in touch with doctors at all point. Um, but yeah, COVID isn't fun. It's not a fun
Mhm.
disease. I have to say, it kind of it does, like, yeah, I have never experienced body ache like I did on the first 2 days of COVID. It was
Right.
horrible. Yeah, couldn't sleep. Oh my god.
It must have been so hard. Are you okay now? Do you feel better?
It's been 4 weeks.
Right.
I've got antibodies, which is great now. I'm on team
Great.
antibody.
Great. Amazing.
Yeah, so I'm good. I mean, of course, we all still get a bit tired because this
Right.
exhaustion thing is real.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure if it's just me being lazy or if it's COVID or whatever. I get to sleep more, I get to chill more, which is nice. And I'm always like, I've just recovered from COVID. Let me take it easy. So I'm taking it
Of
easy.
course. I'm so glad you're doing okay. Um, but there are still people out there who are not taking this pandemic seriously. They're not wearing
Yeah.
masks, not socially distancing. So, is there something you'd like to tell them as a person who has contracted and suffered from it yourself?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. Nothing's really worth getting this disease. We can look back with positivity and be like, yeah, okay, we got it in Goa, whatever, we were happy and all
Right.
of that.
Mhm.
um but also I think it was a unique COVID experience I had. How many people are going to be locked down with their friends in a beautiful villa with COVID? It's not going to be an
Right.
ideal situation for anyone of
No.
whoever contracts it. It's going to be
Right.
you stuck in a small room or worse in a healthcare facility, especially in India, in a country like ours where the healthcare is so poor already. And it's not worth it. I really like, yeah, I wish we hadn't got it, but it's just not worth it. You need to take
Right.
all the precautions you can. Yeah.
Right.
Wear
So
a
wear
mask.
your masks, everyone. Just wear it
Yeah.
and stay
And
away from
don't
each
touch.
other.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So, lastly, you're starring in a new Netflix show called Masaba Masaba. So, can you talk to us about that?
So it's not new anymore, I guess. It released like 4 weeks ago. 5 weeks
Oh,
ago. 5 weeks. It
I
released at
think
the
a
end of
month, right?
September.
A month,
Yeah,
right?
it's been a month,
Yeah.
yeah. It's my first time on Netflix, which is great. I always wanted to
Congratulations.
be, thank you. I always wanted to be on Netflix, and I've achieved that.
Great.
It's a good show. It's what I love about it is that it's about women who are ambitious and about female friendships and
Mhm.
just celebrating this female energy. So I think everyone should watch that. And my character in that, I think, is towards the breaking of the stereotype of the fat girl best friend. So I've
Right.
done my best, and even my director Sonam, I guess she wasn't really written as the fat best friend. She's just a
She's just
very
there. Yeah.
successful woman who
Right.
happens to be a little overweight. Yeah, but she's still like hooking up with boys, running her business, living her best life. So I think I've already like kind of done that, made a character who is all sorts of awesome things without any focus on her size or shape. So that's a big win for me
That's
personally.
great.
Yeah.
So everyone, audience, you guys have to watch it. It's Masaba Masaba. That's Masaba twice, and yeah, it's amazing. And thank you so much for this wonderful work that you're doing. So now, Radasha, let's move on to the IG Q&A section.
Mm.
So our topic is self-image and self-confidence. So are you ready?
Yes, always.
Right. Okay. First question is by Tiona. She asks, confidence can't come from outside influences or validation. So, how do you stay confident and true to yourself?
It's a tough one, but I think your confidence has to come from within. And from a very supportive family, friend support system, I'd say. I would not rely on social media. Of course,
No
you feel
way.
good. It's not that it's not fun. Oh, I put up something, I got lots of likes, I got lots of comments. Of course, I feel great, but it is in no way a real measure of how
Right.
good I am or how bad I am or how whatever I am. Yeah, I would say it comes from within. And yeah, that's it. Just friends and family and honest conversations and just getting constructive criticism and just constructive confidence,
Right.
not
Just there.
overconfidence. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The right level. Because, you really got to believe in yourself, having that understanding of what you can and cannot do. Truly knowing your capabilities and knowing yourself is what's really going to help you build that confidence. So that's
Sure.
something you got to work on. Second is by Ashley. She asks, what does being a boss mean to you?
Oh, I guess this is a very simple live life on your own terms. Like,
Right.
that's it. To be the boss of yourself, to be a boss for oneself. I am my boss. So
Right.
that's all.
Taking control of your own life, getting the
Yeah.
reins back, navigating it on your terms. That is exactly what it means to be a boss. I hope all women can be bosses because now more than ever, we need that.
Yes,
So,
girl.
right. So, okay, next question is by Tyler. She asks, how to stop comparing yourself to other women on social media and in real life?
It's a tough
Don't we all
one.
struggle with that every
I do
day?
it all the time. Yeah.
Right.
Um, I've found now that the way I stop is just by reminding myself constantly that I am on my own journey. This is my life. This is my journey. No two journeys are going to be the same. We're all unique. So I think it's constant work. Like every time you find yourself falling into one of those loops of stalking somebody on,
Comparisons, right.
yeah, and then feeling, oh, I'm not good enough, or why does this person have this and that? Got to remind yourself, just, yeah, there's no other way. I think you have to actively
Right.
think about it and try to rework your brain to not think that way. And even if it does, acknowledge it, stop it, come back and like rewire that thought pattern. I'm trying to
Right,
do it every day.
absolutely. Right, you got to really have that focus on yourself, on your journey, and on your purpose, staying true to that. Although comparisons are inevitable, so I think we just got to accept that, work on it, like you said, and move on. So now, next question is by Victoria. She asks, what are your words of wisdom for someone who is starting out in your field?
Um, be okay with rejection,
Right.
believe in yourself, and learn how to act. Don't just show up thinking you are hot and you can be a good actor. No.
Right.
Then go be a model. Yeah. That's
So
it.
talent and working really hard. If you
Yeah.
right.
And I think you have to be thick-skinned in this industry also.
Right, to
You
be
have
able to
not
take all
get-
the criticism. Right, absolutely. So were there times when, negative comments and, criticism like really got to you? Like, have you ever been in that place?
It wasn't even, I mean, yeah, last year in July, I got into an incident with animal activists because a stray animal jumped into my auto rickshaw and then traveled with me to my destination. And anyway, so I didn't realize that is called it's like an illegal thing to do when you like move an animal. Like relocation of a stray is apparently
Oh,
against the
right.
law. I didn't know that,
Right.
and I didn't intentionally relocate this stray anyway. So whatever, this whole thing had
Right.
happened, and the kind of messages I've got on social media, oh my god, horrible. Like people have said horrible things. I hope you have a child and your child is taken away and
Oh my
killed. I hope
God.
you die. All kinds of horrible things. Okay. And then that's when I deactivated Twitter fully. I went off Instagram for the first time in my life for a month. And I didn't deal very well with that. I was really upset. It got to a point where like my grandfather, I remember at the time, he was really old, and I'd gone to visit him in those few days, and he was like, I'm tired of life. I was like, so am I. Let's both get out. And I was so tired. and hurt, and just like, oh my God, what a horrible place this internet has turned into, with everyone just spewing so much negativity. I didn't deal very well. No, I didn't. Therapy helped in those days. Going off, taking time off helped. And again, friends and family helped. That's it. Talk to people. That's the only way.
Right,
Or
because
just
getting
ignore.
right, of course. Because getting in this field, I think you really have to accept the fact that forgiveness doesn't really come easy for people like you, because any small thing that could be possibly this tiny can just be exaggerated to the size of an elephant, and that just impacts your career, impacts your health. So I think, like you said, people have to be really thick-skinned getting into something like this.
Yeah,
So
and I wasn't, but I'm learning along the way.
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's okay, because at the end of the day, you are human. And if you have a bunch of people yelling at you and cursing you, then I think the normal human response is to feel all of that and feel upset and spiral
Attacked,
down.
yes.
Right, of course, feel attacked, definitely. So I think you're very brave for, going through that and going through whatever you've done in your life. So what are your plans for the future? We've already spoken about how you want the narrative to change. Is there anything else that you are expecting from your career that you want to work on?
I'd like to do lots of things. I'd like to work with a long list of people, some in this country, some where you are. I just like to maybe diversify and do more international work. That's something definitely that is on my agenda. And my dad's very keen. He's like, you're so talented. I see you in Hollywood. Just go.
That's
So,
amazing.
I hope that works out at some point.
It will. You're super talented and you're super sweet. I love the energy. I love talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us today, Rytasha. Thank you.
Thank you, Tazeen. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. You can visit our website, www.stukdesigns.org, to shop our merch, make donations, join our blogging team, or be a part of our affiliate program. See you in our next episode. Love and light from us to you.